Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inspiration Wednesday here on July 27th, 2022. So great to be here. As you know, today I'm actually in COVID quarantine. I'm in one of my 2 rooms in my house that I've been allotted, my office and our son's bedroom, since he's in Florida now. So I'm glad that I'm feeling good, just mostly fatigued easily, but other than that, really doing great, everyone. Very, very mild. So I'm very grateful for that. Grateful for science, grateful for my immune system, and I'm sure genetics and a whole lot of other things as well. So thank you, and thanks for the love. I appreciate that. So today I wanted to talk about then self-care and the importance of self-care, and because stress can really affect our immune system. Speaking of immune system, so I wanted to speak into that today and just remind you all to make sure you're taking care of yourselves. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I thought I'd start with, if you'll all join me in continuing to affirm my good health. And I know some others of you have also been sick recently as well. So I thought today, I haven't started with the daily word for a while, but I thought we'd start with the daily word today. And I'm going to go with this Saturday's, which is August 6th, 2022. And the word is healing. Okay, so we're all going to affirm this for yourself, affirm it for yourself. And if you don't mind, we'll affirm it for me as well. Here's the affirmation. It says, "My healing is already within me. When I have a healing need, I do what is necessary to take care of myself. I begin by affirming wholeness, speaking words of love and healing to my body and my mind daily." I take inspiration from Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore. When recalling her healing journey, Myrtle wrote, "I went to all the life centers in my body and spoke words of truth to them, words of strength and power. The presence of God within me is mine to draw upon as a powerful resource. When I picture myself, I visualize a being brimming with divine life. My every thought, word, and action reaffirms this truth. I commit to keeping my consciousness centered on God, on the good, and know I am always whole." And here's from the book of John. Chapter 1, verse 4 says, "In him was life, and the life was the light of all people." So again, affirming my health, but affirming everyone else's health as well, knowing that here's the great affirmation. It's for this Saturday. My healing is already within me. So I'm just knowing that that is the truth, right? Right on, everyone. So speaking of that, so again, since I was, been resting a bit the last couple days, I had started this great book by Unity headquarters CEO Jim Blake. He just wrote the book. Is it backwards, everyone? I know. The Zen Executive. And it says Gems of Wisdom for Enlightened Leadership. So that caught my eye. I picked it up at the UWM conference back in June. And I wanted to share this because he talks about in this book, the whole first section, which is what I've just been about to finish. He talks about self-care. Well, he talks about leadership, rather, Zen leadership, being an inside job. And now we can be leaders in any area of our life. You don't have to be the minister of a church or the CEO of a corporation. You can be a leader in your family, in your neighborhood, in where you volunteer, in your workplace, of course. So there's lots of areas where we can show up as leaders and enlightened leaders. And so he talks about the whole first section of this book is all about enlightened leadership being an inside job, and to really listen to your intuition when trying to make decisions. And also, here's a good one for a lot of us, pointing to myself in case you're listening on the podcast later, giving up people pleasing. So giving up the people pleasing and going with intuition. But then another big part of an inside job of Zen executive leadership is his 4 pillars of self-care. So I wanted to share that because he says you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup, people. And I know from my own examples, as you know, in my life in the past, I gave to family, gave to work, gave to everybody except for me until my body broke down. So you need to take care of yourself. It's like they say on the airplane. What? Yep, that's right. Put your mask on yourself before helping someone else. So you can't do the work. You can't show up as the divine that you are, the love and action that all of you are, unless you are taking care of yourself. So self-care is not selfish. Self-care is a spiritual practice. Okay? So, and just as an aside on that, yes, I'm working, but I'm also resting. So I'm not working at my full capacity this week because I'm listening to my body, the intuition that's saying when I need to rest for a while and when I can just sit at my desk and work for a while. So here's what else he says. So I wanted to just read this, page 33 I have marked here. It says, the fact is, because sometimes, again, we don't think of self-care as part of being a leadership or doing well in our work. But he says, the fact is, the better we care for ourselves and our well-being, the better we can perform in all facets of our lives, from decision-making and planning for the future to how we react to stress and stimuli, to how we show up in our relationships with our family and others. You know, he talks about how he was working at another job and he was so stressed out from traveling 3 weeks out of every month that he didn't have anything left in him to give to his marriage, to his daughter, to his family life. So really, it's important not just for our decision making, but it also helps with our stress levels and making all those relationship, interactions and decisions and all of our goals in life. And he says, so there's 4 pillars. So the 4 pillars he talks about are really about sleep, getting good sleep. And I just read today, everybody, Wall Street Journal, I think, 7 to 8 hours sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Sorry, I said that really fast. Can actually help you decrease your chances of dementia. Get the sleep. That's because our nervous system needs to stop and rest. Our body needs to repair itself, and we do that through sleep. So the first pillar of self-care is getting enough sleep. It says sleep contributes to better brain capabilities, improved mood, and increased immune system. It's so true. He's not lying. And we know that when you don't, I know for myself, if I don't get enough sleep, I'm like teary and cry. I can't really make a decision. I'm in a bad mood. My health gets worse. So sleep, everyone. That's the first pillar of self-care. The second pillar of self-care, in Jim Blake's book, but I'm going to totally agree with him, is eating. Make sure you eat. Some of you are like, well, I eat too much. But you know what? No, you have to eat. Please listen to your body's cues. Now, here's the old, I'm not going to say old dietitian. I'll say former dietitian. Here's the former dietitian in me saying, listen to your body's cues. If you really listen and tune in, it will tell you when you need to eat. And it's usually several times throughout the day. Okay? Get the breakfast. Get the lunch and get the dinner and make sure you have all of your macronutrients. Again, and as he says in here, everyone likes to eat maybe differently, or there could be food allergies or sensitivities. That's fine. But make sure you're getting your fresh fruits and vegetables. You're making sure you get enough carbohydrates. We still need those. Again, how much is up to you, but have some good carbs, your high fiber carbs, have some protein, get your calcium, all of that, okay? So eat throughout the day and make sure you have some good whole foods. Okay, the next pillar of self-care is movement. Move your body, okay? Okay, I can see you all nodding your heads along with me. I can't really, but I'm imagining it. Okay, it says, here's what Jim Blake says. Exercising can help you get to sleep faster. Remember, that was the first pillar of good health and self-care. And it helps you stay asleep longer. So the more you move, the more intense your exercise, the better you're going to sleep, the longer you're going to sleep, which again helps with all those other functions of your body, including your immune system. It helps to manage blood sugars. I know, because again, as a former, not old dietitian, as a former dietitian, we used to say to our diabetic patients, make sure you get the exercise. It will help keep your blood sugar down and in balance. Movement helps with muscle and bone, reduces your risk of anxiety and depression. Lots of studies on that. It releases endorphins, which are the mood enhancers. So if you want to be in a good mood, if you want your bones to stay strong, if you want to get good sleep, movement, everybody. Just find something that you enjoy. You know what I used to tell people is, what did you used to like to do as a child? Try that again. Because as an adult, no matter your age, you're going to like it again. I'm guaranteeing you. Just be safe. Try it again. Okay, and then the fourth pillar of self-care that Jim Blake talks about in his book, The Zen Executive, is the spiritual side. And probably all of us here are doing that pretty well, but he really talks about connecting to a spiritual practice, making sure that meditation is part of your daily life. He says it's really worth your time. Sometimes we think, I don't have time today. I know I've been guilty of that. And yet, the longer our meditation really needs to be, the longer our to-do list. So making sure that meditation gets in there. Or journaling. You know, meditation doesn't have to look just like sitting and quiet. I do meditative journaling. That's actually, for the last couple of years now, how I've really been doing a lot of my meditation has been to get quiet still, and then go into my heart and just ask divine love, what do I need to know today? And then just starting to journal and write whatever I hear. And that's what comes out. But any kind of journaling, you know, you can even do a, hey, dear God, what do you need me to hear today? And then just let yourself write, hey, universe, what's your message for me? Gratitude is another spiritual practice. I talk about that a lot because it's really, I mean, when I say it saved my life, I'm going to tell you it saved my life. Gratitude, spiritual practice. And then, as Jim Blake mentions here too, you know, having conversations with a minister, with a therapist, with a trusted friend, someone who can really hold your heart, listen to your heart, and not counsel necessarily, you know, give advice is what I mean. No advice, but just really holding your heart, listening, and keeping that space open for you to share and be more in connection with your own higher self, your own God of your own inner being, who you really are. And then, you know, he says in this book, I like this quote, he says, find something outside of your day-to-day routine that will help you rejuvenate and bring a sense of renewal. That's the key to self-care. Again, it's not necessarily about the spa days, although I'm all about a spa day, but it's also about the day-to-day. What can I add into my day that will help me bring a sense of renewal, of rejuvenation? Again, the 4 pillars: sleep, eat well, make sure you're hydrated, water's in there too, move, get some movement in, and connecting with your spiritual practice daily. And finding something outside of the normal to really rejuvenate you. You know, I have in my contract spiritual renewal time. It was suggested to me, passed down by several different minister mentors of mine. Make sure you get that in there. And you know, it's important, not really for even the board. The board's all on board with it. Hey, that was funny. Board's on board with it. But it's really for me. I have to hold myself now accountable to that spiritual renewal time. And it's so important. I find just 2 days, 48 hours, just going alone by myself to, again, meditate, journal, do some yoga in my own little room. It's amazing what it will do. But I understand we can't get away for 48 hours at a time. Although, again, I say put it into your calendar once or twice a year at least. And in the meantime, try to block out moments, if not in the day, although the day is good, at least in your week. How can I have just a couple hours to make sure I'm really, really, really taking care of myself? Okay, everyone. So that's my Inspiration Wednesday and COVID lockdown. Like I said, I'm doing real well. Thank you for your prayers. So this Sunday, given the circumstances, we are going to do a virtual Sunday. However, I know some of you will still be feeling well and some of you still want to meet in community. So we're going to have a watch party at the church. How cool is that? Okay, we're trying something new. You know me, everyone. I got to keep trying new things. Because you know what? This is the reality we're living with these days, right? It's a whole new world. So why not keep trying new things? So Sunday will be virtual. You can watch from home. And if you do have any symptoms at all, please, people, even if you're getting a negative test, please stay home. But also, you can watch from home. if that's where you're most comfortable, or you can go to church, and Suan will be there with the service running on our screen, and you can join in community. Just a little brief hospitality afterwards. Just, some water and social. We're trying to tell everyone, bring your own popcorn, folks. Bring your own coffee and donuts. But you can at least gather in community if you'd like to, or you can stay home. It's a new way of doing things. Speaking of Facebook, YouTube, 10 a.m. live streamed. You can enjoy even more Inspiration Wednesdays or Sunday services on our YouTube channel. Go to Unity of the Oaks YouTube channel. You'll find our entire Sunday services, or just the message, or just the meditation, or just the music and music videos, all there on our YouTube channel. And you know what? Share it with a friend. That's how more people learn about us. And really, ultimately, that's how we transform the world. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Thanks for all your well wishes. I will go back and read. Thank you, Janie. I am resilient. I'm affirming that too. Thank you to Deborah. Thank you to Art for joining me. Thank you to Kiona, I think that is. Thank you to, who else do I have on here? To Juan, to Art. Hello, Art. Oh, thank you. So sweet. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. I will be online on Sunday. Reverend Sherry is going to step in to actually give the message, but you'll see me in different parts too of the Sunday service. Have a blessed day and week. And thank you, everyone. Prayers and blessings. Bye-bye.